How's it going, guys? My name is Just Weavile and welcome to my channel where we try to bring out the potential of every Pokemon available. Today's focus is on a team built around the forbidden Pokemon Spiritomb. With Calm Mind to boost its special defense and special attack, and then Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse and Terra Blast Fairy for coverage, this thing can put in the work. Let's give it a try. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun to my opponent with the green eyebrows. They're going to lead off with Screener, the Corviknight, as I led off with my Sushi, the Tatsugiri. Not the best lead in the world. It's not a bad lead either. And we can Nasty Plot here if we want to. I might Nasty Plot just to see if they go into the Corviknight into the Prima Arena or not. But we Nasty Plot. There we go. Looking pretty powerful right now with the Tatsugiri. They go for an Agility. They're a setup Corviknight. That's interesting. So probably going to see Power Trip. Let's go for a Surf and see if we can take this thing out. Bulk Up, that's fine. My +2's Nasty Plot boosted Surf is going to do a lot of damage to you, my friend. A lot of damage. So let's see how much damage this does. So Surf comes through. And that's a nearly dead Corviknight, which is awesome. So they're going to go ahead and get some leftovers recovery as well. And that orange sky on this blue battlefield looks really nice. Let's go for another Surf. Power Trip's fine. That's going to do a lot of damage, probably. Half. We go for a Surf, and that's a dead Corviknight. So I was worried about the Corviknight being a defogger. So that's why I didn't lead with Ninetales. But I guess I didn't really have to worry about that. So Tatsugiri is looking pretty good right now. Their best Pokemon to go into is probably going to be the Prima Arena. They go into Bull, which is the Minior. That's interesting. Why Minior? Is it Focus Sashed? Probably Focus Sashed, right? More than likely Focus Sashed. That's fine though. I'll go for a Surf regardless. Surf comes through. Should do a lot of damage. It takes them down to the Focus Sash, which is going to activate their shields down. Which is scary, but at the same time, I'm not too scared because they go for the Shell Smash. And I'm not too scared purely because we have the Rillaboom with the Grassy Glide, which is a priority move in the grassy terrain. So we don't have to worry about this thing sweeping us at all. We can take out my Tatsugiri, that's fine. There's the shield down. Boom. Like so. And now we'll go for a Surf again just in case, but I think they definitely attack us here and KO us. Acrobatics comes through, that's fine. That's going to take out Tatsugiri. Well, Tatsugiri did a good job. Took out the Corviknight, which was obviously a big stopper. But we're going to go into Rillaboom now. Rillaboom can definitely take this thing out of a Grassy Glide. So Rillaboom comes through. Grassy Surge comes through. Awesome stuff. And then we're just going to hit it with a Grassy Glide real quick. So there we go. There's the Grassy Seed as well, which is activated, removing our item. So we have a Stabber. Not Stab. We've got a powerful Acrobatics as well for backup for like the Como. So we go for a Grassy Glide here every single time we take out this Minior. They withdraw the Minior, which is interesting. So why? They go into Konami. That is the Skarmory. That's a good switch. That's a good switch. So we go for the Grassy Glide. It's obviously going to do no damage, and we might get Rocky Helmeted. We do get Rocky Helmeted, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We need to determine what this Skarmory set is. Because here's the thing, Iron Thorns destroys this team right now. Destroys it. If we can bait the Terra. So we need to know what set this Skarmory is. Whether it's, you know, I don't know. I don't know what set it's going to be. I'm going to go into Ninetales anyway, and I'm going to go for an Aurora Veil. So that's something. So Vimto comes in like so. I'd assume they have Brave Bird if they go into this thing on the Rillaboom, right? I don't know. They go for an Iron Defense, so they're a Body Press set, which is terrifyingly terrifying. We're just going to go for an Encore here. To lock it into the Iron Defense, and then we'll go for an Aurora Veil, and then we can just freeze dry it to death. So Encore comes through. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, buddy. You're locked into that Iron Defense right now. You're locked into the Iron Defense right now, which is fine for me. But what this is good to know is that they're a Body Press set. So if I get the Aurora Veil up now, I can just go into my Spiritomb on this thing. But they have switched out. What are they going to go into? Oh, Solmio, the Tree Victor. That's the Prima Arena. Okay, so Prima Arena comes in. We get the Aurora Veil up, which is fantastic. Now, they kind of go for... I think they go for a Moonblast here, which is tough. Tough to switch into if we didn't have Registeel over here. So I'm going to go Registeel now, because I know Registeel can take any hit from this Prima Arena, no problem. So there we go. Withdraw Ninetales. We'll go into good old Registeel like so. There we go. They go for a Moonblast. That's going to bounce right off us like it's nothing. Yep, there we go. The Aurora Veil definitely helps there as well. And the grassy terrain is going to recover our health back, which is fantastic. So that's good. And what we can do now is we can get Stealth Rocks up. That's going to be useful. So let's get the Stealth Rocks up now. They withdraw. They're probably going to go Como if I had to guess, or Minior. Biggest Cactus. That is going to be the Cacturn. We go for a Stealth Rocks. That's great. Stealth Rocks is great here. So we don't know what set this Cacturn is. But what we do know is that we can probably take care of it with Spiritomb. So I'm going to go into Spiritomb now. Spiritomb seems like a decent switch because we've got Terra Fairy, Terra Blast, which is what I'm looking at right now. But also, if Spiritomb goes down here, it's also not the end of the world. They go for a Sword Dance? That's terrifying. That's a terrifying Cacturn right there. So what we have to do here is I would Terra, but they're probably going to Terra themselves or switch out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball just to get the damage off. They go for a Trailblaze, and that's going to do no damage, but it is making this thing a bit more terrifying because it's giving it a speed boost, which is not what we want. Shadow Ball does a good amount of damage though, which is great, and we get the special defense drop, which is why I went for a Shadow Ball in the first place. So Spiritomb's looking alright. We're probably going to see a Stab knockoff now, but let's go for another Shadow Ball regardless. Another Swords Dance comes through. Okay, that thing's terrifying now. That thing is terrifying right now. We go for a Shadow Ball though, and that should nearly KO them. Yeah, it nearly does the job. Unfortunately, we don't have priority on this particular Spiritomb, but we do have Bulk and Aurora Veil, so we don't really need the priority. So I'm going to go for another Shadow Ball here, take out this Cacturn after it's done some massive damage to us with a Sucker Punch. Didn't do as much damage as I thought it would. We go for a Shadow Ball, and that is a dead Cacturn. So Cacturn's really cool to see. It's a hard Pokemon to pull off. It's just really hard. It's very frail, it's very slow, and its offenses are like, you know, mediocre. The only thing it's got going for it is the priority in Sucker Punch and Stab Knockoff, I believe, and Trailblaze, etc. Swords Dance to boost its attack, stuff like that. So Stones dig into the Minior goes down, which is unfortunate for them. I guess if they were going to sack it off, why not sack it off there? Screw it. Silver Scale comes in. Who's Silver Scale? Homo. Nice. I like that. So I know what to expect from this thing. So I'm going to go for a Calm Mind here, because they're probably going to go for a Clangorous Soul. They do go for a Clangorous Soul. And what we want to do is we want to bait them into going for a Dragon type move, which is why I haven't Terra'd this turn to go for a Calm Mind. So they get the Omni Boost, which is terrifying. Como could really make a comeback here, potentially, since we are low on health. They also have the Throat Spray item, telling me they're a especially offensive one. So we're going to go for a Calm Mind here, and you know what? We can probably take a hit from this thing thanks to the Aurora Veil. Well, the Aurora Veil wears off either this turn or the next turn, I believe. I can't remember which one it is. There, it's this turn. Yeah, Aurora Veils wear off. So now we're going to have to Terra Fairy, Terra Blast, and hope for the best here. So they haven't Terra'd, otherwise they would have gone first, which is great. Absolutely great. And hopefully we see a Dragon Pulse here, or a Dragon Claw, or a Dragon move in general. They couldn't go for a fighting move. They couldn't go for a Boom Burst because we were a Ghost type. They go for an Earthquake, though, which is going to sting. Doesn't quite get the KO. And we can go for a +1 Terra Blast on this non-Terra'd Como right now and get the KO with Spiritomb. This is awesome. So Spiritomb not only 1v1'd the Cacturn, it's just 1v1 the Como as well, tanking a +1 Earthquake like a champ from half health. Gotta love it. What an absolute legend this Spiritomb is. I love that how it looks with Terra as well. Like how the ghouly like ectoplasm isn't Terra'd, but then the little balls around its face are Terra'd. That's awesome. Alright, Old Soul Mio comes in. That's the Primarina. Stealth Rocks do dig in. We can expect to go down here, which is fine. I'm just going to go for a Terra Blast anyway, just in case we do live. They do go for a Moonblast, though. That's going to take us out. So Plasma goes down. But you know what? Spiritomb did such a good job taking care of that Como. Technically the Minior as well. Taking care of the Cacturn. Let's go into Ninetales now and get that Aurora Veil back up. That's what we need. Aurora Veil to back us up. And then hopefully we can finish this game off with Iron Thorns. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll go for an Aurora Veil now. Aurora Veil comes through. Boom. They probably go for a Moonblast if I had to guess. Yeah, there's the Moonblast. Does a nice chunk of damage to us. And now I'm leaning towards Iron Fawns. Get up a Dragon Dance, living a Surf. But at the same time, I'm not. I think I am going to do that. I'm going to go to Iron Fawns. And I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance, see if we can live a Surf through the Aurora Veil, which we should do. So Mechazilla comes in. They should go for a Moonblast here. Which is fine if they do. They do go for a Moonblast. Aurora Veil's going to protect us. Like so. Air Balloon pops. That's fine. I'm not bothered about that at this particular time. Let's go for a Dragon Dance. Now, they haven't Terra'd yet, I don't think. Did they Terra? Did they Terra the Corviknight by chance? No, I don't think they did. So we get that speed and attack boost. They go for a Sparkling Aria. That's going to do a bit of damage. But we do live. And we go for a Thunder Punch here every single time. And they withdraw. I think Iron Fawns is finishing this game up. Konami comes in. Oh, Rocky Helmet. Oh, I see. Luckily, we do live a Rocky Helmet. So we go for a Thunder Punch here. KOs in one shot on the Skarmory. That's awesome. That wasn't even a crit. Okay, so Skarmory just went down there. That's awesome. We also live, which is great. Okay, in comes the Primarina again. More Stealth Rock chip, which is awesome. We can probably expect a Terra here, but I'm going to go for a Thunder Punch regardless. Thunder Punch comes through, no Terra, and that is going to be the game. I feel like they already Terra'd earlier, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, GG Faunabelle, that was a pretty fun one. Yeah, pretty fun game. Awesome stuff. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Gazero. So they're going to lead off with Espeon, which is awesome as I led off with my Ninetales. I figured Ninetales is a pretty easy lead here because they haven't got a Defogger. And the Pokemon that can take me out, I'm faster than, so it's not a big deal. I could just go for the Aurora Veil and be done with it, you know? So we go for the Aurora Veil. I think we're at a speed tie with the Espeons. I'm pretty sure it's a speed tie. Base 110, right? They go for Reflect. That's fine. Absolutely fine by me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to smack this thing in the face with a Moonblast just because they didn't get a light screen up. We win the speed tie again, which is nice. And then we do nearly half to them, which is awesome. They go for a Calm Mind. And now this thing just took a 180 and became a bit of a threat. They got the Reflect up. I'm guessing it's not dual screens. I'm guessing it's a Reflect Calm Mind with 2 attacks, if I had to guess. So, knowing they've got a Reflect up here, probably best if I switch out. I'm leaning towards them having Psychic and Dazzling Gleam. In which case, I should go for another Moonblast. I just go for another Moonblast. We do outspeed again, of course. They might be a bulkier Espeon, to be fair. There's always a possibility as well. They go for a Psychic. We did get the special attack drop, which is nice. This Psychic's not going to do nearly as much. And we go for another Moonblast, and we take out this Espeon real quick. There we go. When Moonblast comes through, Espeon goes down. They got the Reflect up, but I don't think that's going to help them in the long run. Because it will wear off soon. And no doubt they're probably not Light Clay because of the fact that they were a Calm Mindset, but you never know. So Infernape, the former Alpha, comes in. Great Pokemon to go into here. It's a Fire type, obviously. We do outspeed it, but we can't take it out in one hit. So I think my best bet here is to go into Tatsugiri. So I'm going to go into Tatsugiri now, expecting a Fire type move, which will Quad Resist. Now, they could go for a U-turn. They could also go for a Close Combat, predicting the switch. But we have got the Aurora Veil up, so it shouldn't be too bad. They go for that Raging Fury, which is an interesting move to go for here because it's not going to do anything to us. And it's like Outrage, so they're locked in right now. So we can just go for a Surf and take this thing out, and that's a big threat gone. So Raging Fury comes through again. Boom. And didn't do nearly enough damage. As they get confused, which is awesome. That means it's only a 2-turn Raging Fury. We go for a Surf. It does mean, however, if this doesn't KO, which it does, because it's a Tatsugiri with base like 130 special attack. If it didn't KO, they would have been able to switch out there, but obviously that's not the case. Sigantis comes in. That is going to be the Milotic. We cannot touch Milotic. That's for sure. And to be honest with you, I'm looking at the team and I'm thinking Iron Fawns looks pretty good. To be honest with you, Iron Fawns looks pretty good. So does Spiritomb to an extent. But obviously being Bolt Beam on the Iron Fawns is pretty good against the rest of their team. Salamence is Terra Blast, Gliscor Terra Blast, this thing Thunder Punch. Just the Iron Treads, which we can Terra Blast Ice with, but I don't think I want to do that. I think they definitely will go for a nice a Scald here. So I think I'm going to go into my Iron Fawns straight up. Now, the Reflect hasn't wore off yet, but I think it'll wear off this turn if I'm right in assuming it's not a likely Espeon. So we're going to Shiny Iron Force. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. Floats in the air on the air balloon. They do go for a Draining Kiss, which is going to do no damage to us, thanks to that Aurora Veil. And just weak move, not stab, all that stuff. They are a Marvel Scale variant, which is going to be pretty crucial here. I'm going to go for the Dragon Dance now, because the Reflect hasn't wore off, so I'm wondering what kind of set that is. So they're going to Terra. What type are they going to Terra into? That's the real question. If they Terra Water for the extra power on Scald, they have Terra Water on the extra power on Scald. Fine. If they have Scald, they might have Surf. They might have Surf. So let's see how this goes. So we go for a Dragon Dance. Like so, we get a nice attack and speed boost. And once that Reflect is wore off, which it might have already wore off to be fair, I might have missed it. They go for a Scald though, boosted by Terra. It's going to sting a bit and it might burn us. Hopefully it doesn't burn us. It does burn us, which is unfortunate. So Iron Thorns is unfortunately pretty useless right now, because that thing has Marvel Scale as well. But that doesn't mean they're burned as well, so they're going to get some chip damage every turn, which is alright. And there's the Reflect wearing off. So now at least the Reflect wore off, our Aurora Veil wore off. We can just go for a Thunder Punch here, just to get some damage off on this thing. That's what I'm going to do. Still does a decent chunk of damage to them. As they go for an Aqua Ring. Okay, so it's like a Stoli Milotic. That's interesting. So they've got Scald, Draining Kiss, Aqua Ring, and probably Recover, which is interesting. So what I'm going to do now is, because they're probably going to go for a Recover here, if they have Recover, I'm going to go for another Dragon Dance, just get that extra power. And this is just assuming they don't go for a Scald here and they go for a Recover, which they might do. So we'll see what they do. If they KO us with a Scald, they go for a Draining Kiss. That's not going to do the job, I'm afraid. It does get them some health back, though. It does get them some health back. So this Milotic's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. Methinks. The burn doesn't take us out, luckily for us. It will take us out the next turn. And then we just need to go for a Thunder Punch here, and it'll do more damage than it did last time. At least. So we go for a Thunder Punch now. Should do a lot of damage. Nearly gets the job done, which is great. As they go for a Scald. So they must not have Recover on this set. It must be a Scald, Draining Kiss, Aqua Ring, and then what? Maybe Dragon Tail or Flip Turn? Potentially. Iron Thorns goes down anyway, so it's not an Iron Thorns day. It's not Iron Thorns day today, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to go into Rillaboom here. Rillaboom obviously scares this thing out. And what we can do is, Grassy Surge is going to come up. And that's going to pop our Grassy Seed. Like so. Which is going to give us a nice defense boost. There we go. They're probably going to switch out. I'm going to go for a Swords Dance here, predicting the switch. They don't switch out, so we go for a Swords Dance on a potential Scald here. I really thought they'd go into Gliscor or something, or Salamence. There's the last move, Ice Beam. That's the last move, Ice Beam. Which is unfortunate, but we do get the recovery from the grassy terrain at least. And we don't have to worry about any, surprise terrors or anything like that either, because they're terrored right in front of us. So what we'll do now is we'll go for a Grassy Glide. We'll go for a Grassy Glide like so. No need to Terror yet. We'll go for the Grassy Glide. There we go. Boom. Down goes the Milotic. This could be a really good Rillaboom game, to be honest with you. Rillaboom might actually pop off here. Gliscor comes in. So this one is an interesting one. So Gliscor comes in. I'm going to go for the Terra Flying Acrobatics at +2. I think that's the best thing for me to go for here. Just to get the maximum amount of damage on this Gliscor. Might even KO, to be fair. Might do the job. Let's see. Let's see how much this does to it. So it's Terra Flying boosted, Acrobatics with no item, because we consumed our Grassy Seed at +2. Let's see how much damage this does. So there we go. Boosted by Terra. And that nearly takes out the Gliscor, which is fantastic. There you go for a Poison Jab, though. That's going to do not enough damage to get the KO, which is great for us. Fantastic for us, even. Let's go for the Acrobatics real quick. There we go. Acrobatics come through. They haven't gone for a Protect or anything. Tell me they either don't have it or they just don't see the point because they're going to die anyway. We got the crit on the last one. Didn't matter, obviously. And now we've got an Iron Treads and a Salamence to deal with, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, we can deal with that. Salamence comes in. So this Salamence could be a Moxie variant. We'll have to see if it's got Intimidate or not. They do have Intimidate, so that takes us down to +1. So I'm pretty confident Acrobatics will KO here, but I'm pretty also sure that they'll outspeed us. They go for a Zen Head, but that's not going to be able to kill us. Unfortunately for them, as Acrobatics nearly lays waste to the Salamence, the grass has just disappeared as well. So we can't even go for the Grassy Glide, but what we can do is we can sack this thing off. So let's go ahead and sack off Tatsugiri. We do not need Tatsugiri for anything. And then we can bring our Rillaboom back in, get the Grassy Terrain up, KO this thing with a Grassy Glide, just in case they are a Dragon Dance set. You know? They go for another Zen Headbutt though, that's not going to do the trick, I'm afraid. As now, we go for a Rapid Spin so that we can outspeed the Iron Treads just in case, but they do go for a Dragon Claw which takes us out. So Sushi goes down, that's pretty much all I wanted Sushi to do this game. Go down to the Salamence. They haven't got Moxie, so I don't have to worry about that. And now we bring Rillaboom back in. Like so, Rillaboom comes back in. Sets the Grassy Surge up, which is awesome. And even though it's quad resisted, this will still KO, no doubt. They go for a Protect. They're trying to stall out the Grassy Terrain, that's fine. Fine by me. I could have gone for a Swords Dance there, but I didn't expect the Protect on the Salamence. To be fair, you don't normally see Protect in singles. 6v6 anyway. I don't know about 3v3, but they go for Dragon Claw. I just realized what I've done wrong there. Rillaboom is Terra Flying, which means Grassy Glide is not priority because I'm not touching the ground. That's one of the great movie mistakes right there. That's a great movie mistake. This is fine though. We're just going to Ninetales. So we're going to Ninetales like so. At least we got the Grassy Terrain up, which will heal our team members, right? So that's something. Let's go for a Freeze Dry real quick. So Freeze Dry comes through. That's going to take out the Salamence, no problem. Boom. Salamence goes down. So that's a bit of a design flaw with this team. The Terra Flying on the Rillaboom is really there just for the acrobatics, but you do lose the priority on Grassy Glide when you do that, which is something I didn't calculate. I didn't factor in. And you know what? Every single team I make, there's always something. You know, so their attack heightens from the on the Iron Treads, which means that instead of attacking here, I'm going to go for an Aurora Veil instead. Just to get that extra defensive boost for my remaining mons, like Spiritomb, for example. Spiritomb could do some work here. So let's see what happens. We go for an Iron Head. That's going to take us out still, regardless of the light screen. Reflect, I mean, from the Aurora Veil. But at least that Earthquake power is lowered. So let's go into Spiritomb here. Phasma. And what we'll do is, I know I can take any hit from this thing. No problem. I go for a Calm Mind first. And then we start going for Dark Pulses. So they go for the Earthquake. The power of Earthquake gets lowered in the Grassy Terrain, if you didn't know. So we go for a Calm Mind now. We're only going to go for one. I think that's all we need to do. One. So let's see how this works out. So we get our Special Defense boost, Special Attack boost. We get our Grassy Terrain recovery. They should really go for Iron Head here because it'll do a bit more damage. But I have a feeling they don't realize the Grassy Terrain's lowering the power. But the grass disappeared anyway, so they can go for Earthquake now. Never mind. Let's go for a Dark Pulse. They go for an Iron Head. That's fine. It's going to be a bit of damage. Might flinch us. Does flinch us. Please don't BS me with flinches. That'd be very unfortunate if you BS me with flinches. Let's go for a Dark Pulse again. They go for another Iron Head. They're trying to BS me with flinches. But we get a Dark Pulse off. It should do about half. Over half. Nice. Nicely done. Spiritomb, you goat. Goated Spiritomb right here. Let's go for a Dark Pulse again. They go for another Iron Head. Hopefully they don't get flinched. We don't. Dark Pulse comes through. And that is going to be the game. So GG 𝙏𝙄𝙎. That was a pretty fun one. I did enjoy that. Nice little short game. Really cool team that you had as well. But yeah, GG.